Hey, back with another video again. I think this is video number 4 in the series, and I want to jump right into it. Today is my release day. Released new music today. I released my first hymn I ever recorded, Just As I Am. I produced it. I released it today, and I want to kind of take you through my process of what I did today. There's various checklists on different websites on what to do on release day and things like that. Number one thing I want to say is that anytime you're releasing music, it should not be overwhelming. It should be fun. It should not be overwhelming. It should be fun. Indeed, you want to take care of your business. You want to ensure some things are in order. But again, there are some things that you have to go through that may seem tedious, but ultimately it should be fun. So I just want to take you through a couple of preparation steps and things that I did in terms of releasing my song, my hymn, or a hymn that I recorded because I didn't write it. It was written Just As I Am was written by Charlotte Elliott with music by William B. Bradbury. It's an old traditional church hymn, Just As I Am. I had a lot of fun producing it. And it took me, I think I started it January 2nd, 2025, when I started writing down, I have it here somewhere. I started writing down my pre-production plan. And I rarely do this. I'm trying to find it now. I'm probably not gonna be able to find it when I'm, on camera, but that's okay. But I started writing out what I wanted verse 1 to be, what instrumentation, strings, what I want to do in verse 3, if I want to have some light piano in there, so a drum back beat, things like that. And it was really fun to do because oftentimes as creators, we can just jump right in, right? We can jump right into the either writing session or studio session. We're ready to produce. Cool for the most part. But if we ever find that, I want to do a little more planning beforehand, get out that notebook. Don't do it in your phone. There's something different about being able to write it down in a notebook. Write down your ideas. What kind of instrumentation do I want? What kind of feel am I going for? And it really was a very, very fulfilling experience. If I do say, it really was. It was a good amount of work, composing and playing the instruments, the strings, bass, drums, programming, all that. But it was fun to do, and I'm glad it's out. So to kind of bring you through preparation in terms of, I'll say once the song was done being recorded, what the preparation was in terms of releasing it. Of course, the basics. Cover. I love canva.com. I love canva.com to do pretty much the majority of any of my graphics, anything, logo, definitely all of my CD covers for the most part for the last however many releases. I used to hire somebody. I used to use Fiverr and hire somebody to do it. Really cool because you can get some cool stuff, but there's just so many tools out. And, again, musicians from the day job, even though we got some money, right, in terms of our day job and career, we have to be mindful of where we're spending our money. And if we have the tools and if we can build the skills to be able to do some artwork ourselves, then do yourself, because there's a lot of songs we're trying to release. So first was cover. How do I want it to look? And I said I just want a basic clouds in the back with just the words, just as I am, and then my name at the bottom. Basic. That's it. Nothing too elaborate. There's been others where I love abstract art, and so there's others where I like brush strokes and things like that. So it's really all a matter of what you want to do. I'm not a visual artist or drawing artist, but I know, how I like things to look and what I'm envisioning and what I'm going for, right? And that's really anything as a creative. If we kind of know what we're going for and we can get there, that's ultimately why or how I started producing more and more of my own music. I love working with different producers. But at the same time, I knew if I can get the sound that I'm going for in my head and I can build some skill and do it well, um, why not? And so I started producing a good while back, and now I love producing my own stuff. And so I think the same thing with the visual arts. If you're like, you know what, yeah, I think I can put a cover together myself. Do that. Do that. If you like, I have no idea, then hire somebody to do it. But ultimately, yes, it was getting the cover done. Uh, and then deciding my distributor, Wings Access. I love Wings Access, specifically Christian gospel distributor, independent. That's probably the first one and only one out there. There's many other distributors, but they focus primarily on Christian gospel music. So I knew I was gonna go through them. Pick the release date. I didn't. Let me tell you this. I didn't follow the norm. I think when I gave it to Wings Access, it was like early March. I want to say March 6th or 7th, around there. And the norm in terms of the checklists and the if you were doing best practices and by the book, okay, make sure this is 3 weeks out or 4 weeks out or what have you, because you want to be able to um, pitch to Spotify editors, and do certain things. There's sometimes when we just want the music out. I will say that you have to make that decision. Okay, I know what the rules are, but if I want my music out, then what do I need to do to get it out? And I want it out before March is over. Easter's coming in about another month from now, so I want it out. Um, so you have to make those decisions sometimes. Say, I'm not going to be able to utilize as best I could all the tools with the appropriate amount of lead time. But if I want my song out and that's paramount and primary, then that's what we're doing. So I didn't give it to Wings Access with the, again, preferred amount of time before release. So again, I think I gave it to them March 6th or 7th, and I picked the release date for today, March 21st. That's when I'm recording this, Friday, March 21st. So it was released today. And so I did that. And then after I did that, I said, let me get just a few visuals together. And so there's a couple things that I love seeing in songs. I love seeing songs backstory. So I got on Canva again, and I grabbed the Instagram reel kind of template, put some clouds, just a kind of a cloud visual behind it, and then went to hymnary.org that shows like history of hymns and things of that nature. And I think somewhere else, but to get the history of Just As I Am. Why did Charlotte Elliott write it and things like that, how it came to be. So I did just like a very quick five of those. I grabbed some text about, I think, when it was written, that it's one of the most well-known hymns or something like that, just some backstory behind it. And so I had 5 different visuals just there. And I wanted to have those visuals ready to, again, to have something to post, right? I could have posted the cover. When I'm talking about social media posts, Instagram, Facebook, I could be at the ready, and I still should do this, post the cover, new songs out now. But I love, seeing some different things. And I encourage you to put some different things behind the song, whether you had somebody playing on, or you use a specific instrument, or just put something interesting, that says, oh, that's pretty cool. And that's really all it is. I love Did You Knows. I love those. And so it's cool. They're on people's newsletters and things like that. I love Did You Know. So having some sort of visual with something connected to the song or about the song or an interesting aspect of the song, get something like that ready to go. So I posted that today. Since this is release day, I posted that on my Instagram. And it's funny because I think I prepared to post it with 5 different posts. I just did them all at the same time. I just said, you know what, here's going to be the posts, 5 different, if you go on Instagram, and you can just kind of scroll through that same post with the song playing in the background. And since, make sure if you're releasing music, your distributor ensures that the music gets to Instagram Reels and Facebook and that, because if you post on these platforms, you can use your own song, and you can time the appropriate snippet and things like that. But ultimately, so I did that. So on release day, that was one of the first things that I did. Visuals that I had already prepared, I had posted on Instagram. I also posted, again, kind of very similar visual. If you have not done this on Spotify, they have something called Canvas. And Canvas is just a 3 to 8 second short video clip that plays in the background of your music. Now, unless somebody's on mobile, or unless somebody's looking at their phone when they're listening to music, they're likely not going to see it. But there's something about ensuring that you're using the tools that these digital streaming platforms give you. Again, I'm not sure exactly how much it helps in the long run. You have to look at different reporting and things like that. But earlier on, again, as I was preparing visuals, that's one of the other things that I did. And there's many sites that say we can create a Spotify canvas for you, blah, blah, blah. Canva. I created mine on Canva. And again, it was just a small visual. I ended up using that same visual, what I was using for my Spotify canvas, about a 3 to 8 second video. I put like a record player in the back of the clouds, very faintly, transparently, just something, with some movement, and the song's playing. So I put that as an Instagram reel. Again, just something that I could put out saying, hey, just as I am, hope you enjoy it. That's really all this is just like a touch point. These are just touch points. I'm not bombarding people, say, hey, here's my song. Hey, here's my song. Nope. Instagram posts with some interesting facts about the song. Instagram story relating to just, hey, the song's out. And so that's going to be it for 24 hours. And then that's going to be it. And I'll put it as a highlight later on Instagram. But in short, again, these are just little things that I'm doing for release day. I have not, this the video I'm doing here, I have not done anything visually being on camera speaking about the song at all. I haven't. Will I? I'm not sure. Probably not. If I'm just right now, probably not. It's just done so much. It's done so often. And if you know me by now, I'm a rebel. I like doing things just a little different than everybody else. So find what it is that you do. If you're comfortable doing that, cool. But again, this should be fun and not. It shouldn't take a extreme amount, long period of time or anything like that. These are just little things. So again, had the cover done, posted on Instagram story, posted on Instagram. And then I also on my personal Facebook page, I just put up the lyric video. That's another thing that I did. So another point of preparation that I love and enjoy doing is lyric videos. Done in what? Canva. This isn't Canva's not sponsoring this video. I just love using them. So I'll give them kudos as often as I can because I enjoy it. It is a little bit tedious to do lyric videos in Canva, but once you get the hang of it, you can do some pretty cool stuff. Again, many sites that do lyric videos and many AI platforms that are saying, hey, we can do it instantly. Again, if you have the time, and I had a couple hours, probably over a couple days to do. If you don't have that, again, get somebody else to do it. But I had a lyric video done. I did a lyric video. I started last week and I finished it, I think, either last night or the night before. And I posted it on YouTube. So the lyric video with just a song in the background and the Just As I Am lyrics the whole way through, I had that ready to go. So I posted that on YouTube. And what else did I do? So on my Facebook post, on my personal Facebook page, I put up just, hey, one of my favorite hymns. This is my first hymn I produced and recorded. Hope you enjoy it. There's the YouTube lyric video. Touch point. I'm just putting on release day. I'm just trying to ensure that I'm creating awareness for the song. So I think that's the number one thing kind of that I'm going over in this video is that either on your release day, and I'll get to this in a second, on your release day, what am I going to be doing to create awareness for my song? And for you, that may be I'm going on Instagram Live for an hour at lunch or something like that. Something for you. Pick what it's going to be for you. Don't try to do what I'm doing. This is what I do. And I'm already telling you that it's slightly different than the best practices and norm. There's some people who, you got to post 8 times throughout the day. I ain't doing that. I'm not doing it because it's not fun. It's not fun. And as a music creator with a day job, I'm always saying that. I'm always leaning on that, right? Because I will say this, if there's any artist that is seeking to do this full time, then yes, this becomes your job. And there are certain things that you want to, in parameters and best practices that you absolutely should consider putting in place. But again, leaning on the fact of who I am, a creator with a day job, and who this audience is, or who I'm speaking, who these videos are for, lean on that and the fact that, hey, I don't have to do it like everybody else. All right. But I just have to determine, how do I want to create awareness for my release? So those are a few things that I did. Another thing, mailing list. So if you have a website, I'm notoriously bad. Well, I'm not going to say that. See, that's the thing. See how I almost flipped that? Because the thought is that if you have a mailing list, you're supposed to be emailing people on a regular basis. Again, I already know how I feel on a bunch of different mailing lists in terms of getting constant things. I don't personally like it. So on the flip side, I'm not trying to email everybody at the drop of every moment I can. No, when I have something relevant or something interesting to share. And sometimes that's after a couple months or something, sometimes. But I truly hope, and if anyone is on my mailing list that's watching, I truly hope you appreciate that my cadence isn't trying to bombard. It's just trying to share. So another thing I did was I scheduled an email to go out today at 10 a.m. my time, 10 a.m. Central. And it's just talking about releasing the song, having a link to where one can go and listen to any streaming platform, whatever one's favorite streaming platform is. So I had a button at the bottom of the email and also a button at the bottom of the email to go watch the lyric video. Awareness. That is the word. If I had graphics, these are simple videos. I'm trying to keep this as basic and simple as possible. So no graphics. But if I had graphics at this point, it would just say awareness, more awareness, another touch point, things like that. So not too overwhelming at all. Just a few things. that I put out. I'm not even sure what, because I have a meeting later somewhere. I'm running out to a meeting later tonight. So I'm not sure how much more I'll be able to do on the release today. But guess what? That's okay. That's okay, because you know what I still got to do? Come tomorrow or come the next day, I need to review. Do I have any emails I need to respond to? Has anybody given them anything that said, hey, we love this? I want to make sure I'm engaging, responding. Because guess what? If I'm just going back to post again, I'm not honoring the work that's already been done. I'm not honoring the post that's already been there. Is there any activity that I need to respond to? Is there anyone that I need to engage with who's reached out to me that wants to engage, or things like communication? Man, please don't just go and post and post and post and post. I think that's why many get overwhelmed in the first place. Post, I gotta do good, gotta do this. What's enough? So I want to encourage you to find your appropriate cadence on your release day. And it could change. Next time I have a release, it may be I'm not going to post at all. I may just go on Instagram for an hour for live, and then have that video be, who knows, because I'm the boss. I get to make those choices, right? You're the boss in terms of your own releases. You get to make those choices. And you don't have to do it the same each time if it's not fun. You don't have to. You can vary it up, test some things out. I tried this last time. I want to try this a little different this time. So I want to encourage you there. Another thing I'm going to do probably over the next few days, I've mentioned this site before, submithub.com. Again, not sponsored. They're not sponsoring this video. It's just something that I use that I enjoy. SubmitHub.com is a way that you can submit your music releases to what is the word? Vetted playlist owners, predominantly on Spotify. I think some blogs and things like that, but vetted. All that bot crap and AI stuff. Mm-mm. And the cool part about Submit Hub, that you can watch a video of the creator of Submit Hub and how they vet and things like that, and tools you can use. You can do some analysis before you submit to any of the playlists. And so there's about, probably from my memory, maybe nine or 10 specific Christian music playlist creators that have Spotify playlists that I want to reach out to if it fits. So I'm going to go back, even though I've submitted other music to them in the past. I'm going to need to go back and review, and it sometimes takes 30 to 45 minutes, maybe an hour. You set aside some time, maybe an hour and a half, who knows, but some solid time to go through and say, okay, what is this playlist? Who's the audience for this playlist? What are they trying to do in their playlist? And does this recording that I just released fit? Does it fit? Okay. Mine, just as I am, is very kind of orchestral recording, strings, some piano, a little bit of drums, traditional hymn. So if I go and start researching playlists and I don't find similar or like songs and things like that in these plays, I might not submit. I'm probably not going to submit. Why? Because if I'm truly serving the playlist creator and serving the playlist itself, if my song doesn't fit, it's not about me wanting to get my song heard via that platform, right? It's, the song is out. I'm going to try to find it homes like playlists and things like that. But if I'm not finding it, don't try to force your sound or your song anywhere. There's homes for everything. You just have to find it. There's homes for everything. So first pass it, I'll take a look, and if I don't find anything, I probably will find a few different things. But if not, I'll say, okay, what's my next step in terms of where else can the song be heard? So awareness, touch points. I mentioned Submit Hub in terms of trying to get a placement on some playlists and things of that nature. And again, this isn't just for the sake of playlists. Think about the end goal. I know that if someone's taken the time to create a playlist and they've built an audience, that somebody working at 2 or what have you may just, I just want to put on a playlist just to get through the rest of work. Okay, cool. So the end user, the listener, is pretty much the point that I'm trying to reach. And the playlist creator kind of going through that and saying, okay, can I help serve in this way? Does my song serve a purpose for this? Is it some fresh new music that fits? If so, then it's serving not only the creator of the playlist, but also the listener. Oh, that is really cool. I haven't heard this. I've heard the hymn before, just as I am, but I haven't heard this rendition. Pretty cool. Allow them to appreciate it. Things like that. So keep that in mind, because it really isn't, we have to get away from we just need our song everywhere. We don't. We do not need our song everywhere. We need our song to serve in the appropriate places where we can serve. All right. And we do that, and we honor our craft, and we honor other people's time and respect other people's time by ensuring that, we're going about this in that way. All right. Not just blasting. I hate when I see people just blasting songs all over the place. Blast, blah, blah, blah. For what? For what? Are you truly thinking about and where the song is going to go? Or is it just, I just want to, younger musicians or younger creators, and I get it, I get it. You're so eager to get heard. I get it. But come on now, the more we mature and the more we hone our craft and the more we understand the business, we say, you know what? No, it actually would make more sense and be better in the long run for me to do this legwork up front to ensure that my music is getting played in the appropriate places and being heard as it should, for people who will appreciate it. So that's another example or another idea for you. Another one, and that coming up on time here, so it's probably the last one. Another one is, I think I must have mentioned them as well. Pandora. I love Pandora. I listen to Pandora all the time. Again, not sponsored, but because I'm a user of it and because I love their tools. So another thing that to be sure you do is get familiar with the tools that are at your disposal. So Pandora has a lot of great tools and ones that I've utilized in the past. And forgive me if I said this before, but since release day, or I'll even say release few days, release week, one of the next things I'm going to do is reach out to the AMP Pandora team. AMP Pandora, or Pandora Radio, they have a team called AMP, which is specifically their, I think it's, what's it called? Artist marketing? So I forget exactly what it's called. But their team is pretty much responsible for educating artists and those releasing music on how to use the tools of their platform and all that. So they have what's called an AMP Fresh Cuts playlist. In one of my other videos, I think I mentioned one of my other songs got on there. So I'm going to reach out. I think on Instagram, they have a very easy way that you can tag them and get on their playlist, submit to get on their playlist. I have a contact over there that I love reaching out to, Andy, who I even asked, said, hey, are you okay with me submitting you in the song? I don't want to bombard you. He said, yeah. So cool. So I'm going to reach out to Andy, let him know about the new release. And hopefully, just as I am, we'll get on the AMP Pandora Fresh Cuts playlist. I say this because one of the tools at Pandora is if your song gets so many radio spins, I think it's about, if your song gets about 10 spins on Pandora Radio over a span of 7 days, you have access to their tools. And one of the tools is you can feature your song for 8 weeks. So feature your song for 8 weeks, or promote your song. I think it's one and the same, but there might be some differences for 8 weeks. And that pretty much bumps it up in the discoverability or what have you. You're not giving away any, you're not saying, hey, reduce my royalties or anything for that. Nothing like that. You just have access to the tool that says, hey, I want my song to be bumped up. And it's completely free. I love I do it as often as I can. It just, you can only do it once. If your song is released, you can only do it once for the song. So if I'm able to do just as I am, I'll have that promoted for about 8 weeks. And again, it just increases the ability for it to be heard and played. Pandora is solely in the US. It's not international. I really wish it was, but Pandora is solely in the US in terms of users who can play it. So you won't get any international listeners, but you will get US listeners. And it's really cool. So I really enjoy that too. So that's just another thing that I'm going to do. And at the end of the day, something that you always need to go back to is this. Based upon everything that I even said with awareness and touch points and sending out to your email list, hey, the song has been released, posting on Instagram or Facebook or what have you. Why are we doing these things? You always go back to the why. And you have to remember, I think this might be my next video, but you have to remember the why of your song. Why did I record this? Why did I spend the time learning it, producing it, mixing it, mastering it? Why did I spend that time doing the cover, lyric video? Why? And it's because my hope is that, and based on past experience, that when you release a song, there is somebody who it's going to touch. There is somebody. Always think back to songs that have impacted you, right? There's songs, we create moments in people's lives. This is the last thing I'll say here. Sometimes it's a little disheartening, right? When, let's say, we release a song and we do all this work, right? Or we do these things to ensure we're creating awareness and touch points and things like that. And then come next Friday, a whole slew of new music is out. It's like, oh man, my music only had about a week out, and now it's all a bunch of new stuff. It's like, that's okay. That's okay. Because I'll tell you this, on Pandora and some, even probably some stations that you listen to or places that you listen to, you'll hear some stuff that's like, oh man, haven't heard this song before. You look at the release date and it's like 2013. I never heard this song before. 2016. What? 2001. Wait, what? Songs live on, and songs live on. So we're not going to get into the ever churning or ever present something that can bubble up and say, oh well, there's going to be new music, so you got to get that next one out. No, honor the time that you spent doing this one. Create more touch points over time. Maybe create a live performance video. There may be other things that you can do with the song, is ensuring that, oh, it's going to touch somebody. And it might not be this week. It might be months from now. It could be years from now. It could be after we're dead, right? It could be. But the fact is that we've created a song that could potentially be a specific moment in time in somebody's life that they need to hear it. That they need to hear it. Charlotte Elliott, when she wrote the song, probably had no idea how many people would record this song. And Just As I Am has been recorded, I don't know how many times, but numerous amount of times. So my recording of that song is just one of many recordings of that same song. And Charlotte Elliott had no idea. William Bradbury, no idea. So you, my friend, you have no idea how wide or how vast or how your song can grow, where it's going to go, and who it's going to touch and at what point in time. All right. So I encourage you today, think about your next release day. If you don't have a release coming up, start working on something. Unless you're in, if you're in a state of rest, cool. Be there. If you're in that state of rest, be there. Get rested up, until it's time for that next one. But when it's time, when you're ready to get that next one going, do it with joy, do it with passion, do it, honor your craft, and then see where things go. So I hope that encouraged you today. That's all I got. Have a blessed day. If you haven't heard the song yet, go listen to Just As I Am. Quick plug, Just As I Am, my newest and latest recording. Put some comments in there. You don't have to like the video if you don't want to. I'm not going to say like, subscribe. I'm not, me. I don't say all that stuff. But I will say, if you'd like to engage with me, some dialogue, again, go ahead, please put a comment down there or email me. You have my email, jared@jaredkfjones.com. And I will see you in the next video. You guys enjoy the day.